So we're in Central Park. So this park was built like in the 1850s. Actually, it was all handmade. Other than the rock that's here, everything was planted or designed and actually built by Irish immigrants. But one thing I wanted to point out is these tall buildings behind me. This is known as Billionaires Row. There are four major super talls right now, and the tallest one, almost directly behind me there, looking up, is Central Park Tower at 1,550 feet. It's the tallest of all residential skyscrapers in the world right now. That probably won't last too long, but this is known as Billionaires Row, and it is just off of Central Park, the southern end of the park, or what they call Central Park South. It's recording. So when you're in Central Park, one thing that the designers did was they decided to make all the walkways and roadways curved. In that way, you would not be able to tell how large or small the park actually is. And it is about 2.5 miles long, about a half mile wide. So as you're going through the park, you're going to see beautiful bridges like this one, an iron bridge, which is just in the southern part of the park. But one thing that becomes a problem for a lot of people here in the park is their sense of direction. Now right now, without leaves on the trees, it's kind of easy for a local to tell which way is east or west. It might be the sun, it might be the buildings they recognize. But one thing that could always help you out is come to any light post here. And if you notice the number here on the light post, the 6229, it would tell you you're basically at 62nd Street. Because it's ending in an odd number, it means you're on the west side of town. So it gives you a general idea where you are if you knew to look for that number. If you come to New York City, you want to come into Central Park from 72nd Street on the east or west side. Come to the center of the park and you'll come here to Bethesda Terrace. You hear that music being played by a busker. But also, this is supposed to look like an Italian piazza from Italy. And this would include the beautiful Angel of the Water statue, which is right here. Now this will be filled with water in the springtime. We're here in January, so no water, of course. In the distance, you'll see something called the Boathouse. And the Boathouse is where there's a restaurant, a snack bar, as well as where you can rent some rowboats. Take your little ride on something called the lake. Across the way, an area is known as the Ramble, and that's a great walking opportunity through what feels like a forest in some enchanted land. By the way, the movie Enchanted, you look behind me, this is where one of the scenes is filmed.